Welcome back to the Buds in the Box podcast. I'm your host, Eric Fogarty, and I'm joined with my two co-hosts, Jude, Rondina, and Michael Feldbloom. How's it going today, guys?
Hey boys, how you doing?
Good, how are you, Eric?
Thank you, Felly, for asking me. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. What? What's so funny?
Nothing.
Okay.
You're always so amazed when I ask you how you're doing.
Yeah, because you never used to.
What?
Yeah.
I literally always did. You just came up with that in your head.
No. Okay. Whatever. Moving on. Leafs win 4-3 in overtime against the Winnipeg Jets in a much-needed victory. I think you guys can agree with me on that one.
For sure.
Yeah, it kind of felt like a must win. Even though it wasn't a must win, I kind of felt like it.
Yeah, and our last video, guys, thanks for all the support. It really means a lot. So, our last video, it did really well. Should Anderson get traded? And I think this will silence the critics tonight, even though he did kind of have a shaky game. Okay, you guys can agree with me and say yes.
We nodded.
Yeah, but what about our
Agree.
Spotify listeners?
Okay.
Oh,
great-
yeah,
great-
Eric.
great take.
All right. Let's just get into the game because I know you guys have a few opinions on some of this stuff that happened. So, first period, 1 minute in, William Nylander has his first chance of the game, robbed on a breakaway. First of many chances, let me tell you that. And he just tried to tuck it in backhand, didn't work. Hellebuck is pretty big.
I mean, I think when it's a game breakaway, it's like when it's not a penalty shot or a shootout or whatever, you're obviously coming in hot, and when you try to make a move, the goalie usually always knows where it's going to go because you can really only make one move at full speed. You can't do like a full forehand backhand, even back to forehand. Like you can't really make an extra move when you're going full speed. So I feel like Hallebuck kind of read it. All three breakaways that the Leafs had, Hallebuck read it every time. They tried to go to their backhand and he saved it. I think when you're coming in hot like that, it's safe to shoot it when you have a shot, when you have a chance like that. When it's just goalie versus shooter, it's like shooting is
Also,
definitely way easier.
You have that speed, right? So your shot's just that much harder. So
Yeah.
momentum.
Yeah, whenever I have a breakaway, I always shoot it. I never deke.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the situation, but obviously, if Eric's doing it in select, the NHLer should be doing it too. So,
Wake up.
I should be coaching. That's all I'm saying. The Leafs definitely came out more hungry this game. You guys can say yes to agree with me.
Yes.
yes,
Thank you.
bro.
And one thing I noticed as well in the first period, Joe Thornton is still with that line, and I mean the lines are shuffled and jumbled, whatever. But I think Hyman should permanently be playing with the Marners and Matthews line, especially if he's this hot. And if he's this hot, why are you playing him with Mikheyev and Kerfoot or Mikheyev and Engvall?
Well, the play that Hyman made on Marner's goal, you don't see Thornton do that, right? He's just like, no offense to the guy, he's just too old. Like, he doesn't pull off plays like going into the corner and battling. I've always said I think that's why Hyman works so well with Matthews and Marner, because he does all the work for them and it just helps them be better players. Like, I think anyone playing with Hyman really has a good chance to be good. Like, you saw that third line playing with Hyman and they look good because of him.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, okay. So that first goal that we were talking about was in the second period, but we'll get into the first goal, which was scored by the Winnipeg Jets. And about 17 or 16 minutes into the game, the Leafs have a bunch of bad turnovers. I think it was Muzzin this time. He turned it over, or no, it was Dermott.
I think it was Dermott.
Yeah, Dermott. You're right, Dermott. And it leads to Ehlers' goal, which I wasn't like 100% mad at because I had Ehlers in fantasy. You guys might call me a non-Leafs fan.
Okay, yeah. I mean, this is the first time I've ever taken notes on a goal. So I said Winnipeg goal, It was a great play by Pierre-Luc Dubois. I think it was who hit it out of the air. So whatever Dermott's turnover was, they hit it out of like a hand-eye play, right out of the air to spark that rush. And I don't know, it was a well-placed shot by Ehlers, but
Anderson had no chance. No chance at all.
Well-placed shot, but I mean he's giving him that side clearly, so he's out of position, and I didn't see Hellebuyck out of position once this game, so that's
man.
That's
yeah. I mean, not that you can compare the two goalies because there's obviously such a big difference just watching these games. But I don't know. I don't know how you leave that much net open when you're scoring up to a shooter coming down the side like that. I mean, whatever though.
Yeah, this was definitely one of the most frustrating and also relieving and kind of satisfying games to watch as a Leafs fan, because just to see how much they struggled with goals and then just to see them score like 3 or 4 tonight on a super hot goalie is also satisfying. But I mean, man, Hellebuyck, however you say it, he is just on another level. You can't even compare Anderson to him. Not even close.
It honestly seems like, I don't know, like I don't know which one you were saying, but before we were talking and I was kind of saying like, seems like every single goalie that the Leafs play steps up, like just decides to go nuts because like, oh, I'm playing the Leafs, I'm just gonna go crazy. But it's because they're at the top of the league and the division that people want to go up. Like they play better because they're trying to play better against a better team. No way Hellebuyck does that against Ottawa. Like he just doesn't. He takes it for granted probably. Lets some shots go, like whatever. But it's the Leafs, so you got to try hard kind of thing. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, it's a mental thing too, because when you're playing the first place team, you're obviously going to try harder. It's not something you can really control. It's just something that kicks in. And that's, I mean, it happens, right? So the Leafs are just going to have to overcome it and beat the adversity. End of the first period, I wrote this in intermission. Leafs can't capitalize on the offense that they're generated, and they generated a lot of offense in that first period. Just can't score. And it's been a problem. I mean, like you have $40 million into 3 or 4 guys, and they're just not generating. It's really frustrating at times, and that's what I was saying about the frustrating part.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a problem though. It's not a problem.
Yeah, it's not. They're still like they're still scoring.
Well, they lead the league in goals and points, and like Nylander's got, I don't know, 13 goals and 13 assists or something. Like that's not shabby at all. Same with Tavares, same with Marner, same with Matthews. So I wouldn't say I'm like frustrated with them. I think it was just like running into hot goalies consistently makes it harder, but they're still producing.
Yeah, 100%. But I think the Toronto media and their expectations are just like risen to an extreme point where they don't score for one game. They're just completely destroyed on the media. So
yeah.
But anyway, in the second period, this is where Marner, they finally crack Hellebuyck. 3 minutes in, Marner finally scores, and this is the goal that we were talking about, all from Zach Hyman. So Zach Hyman's winning all these battles. It gets to Matthews, gets to Brody, and Marner taps home the rebound. Marner's first goal in 6 games.
Yeah, I think what happened. I think what happened was Brody took the shot, which was a really good just decision to throw it on net because, good things happen when you put the puck on net. I think that's what everyone tells you when you're a hockey player is like good things happen when you throw the puck on net. And he threw the puck on net. Matthews tipped it, I believe, is how he got his assist there. And then Marner put in the rebound. So, I mean, that looked like it was going to be the only way to beat Hellebuyck, but Matthews obviously showed different in overtime, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. And then right after, though, about a few minutes, like 5 or 7 minutes after, I mean, the Leafs let up a 2-on-1. They're kind of sloppy defensively. I don't know what more else to say, but that you can't let a 2-on-1 like, oh, okay, I remember now. The goals are just coming back to me, but Justin Hall went too deep. He went to go make a play, and then none
And
of the
VC,
VC.
Yeah.
it was VC. They had four guys deep in the zone. They showed it in between periods. There were four guys under the hash marks, four Leafs under the hash marks, and Muzzin alone at the point, or I don't know. I think it was Muzzin.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, first of all, if a defenseman's allowed to jump in, like it's completely fine if a defenseman jumps in, if they think a forward's there. But the forward has to know that the defenseman's jumping in, and VC didn't know. VC had a great game and he's been playing well. He made a couple strong moves, but that's just like a mistake that it happens, but like it can't happen in the NHL. Like it just can't.
Yeah,
Can't have four guys underneath the hash marks.
I don't remember who made the pass for Winnipeg. Kyle Connor. And perfect saucer pass right to Ehlers. Ehlers is gonna finish that 9 times out of 10. There's nothing.
Kyle Connor's a bit of a bean.
Pardon?
He's a bit of a bean. I didn't really
Ehlers?
realize, but like I just saw him. He kind. No, Connor. He kind of looks like a crackhead. Like
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
Kyle Connor's one of the ugliest guys in the NHL, hands down.
Not that he's ugly, no. Just like he's got. I don't know. He just looks like he's like cracked up all the time. I don't know. Like,
he has googly eyes. I've always been saying that he has googly eyes.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. And then
he's a bit of a string bean, but whatever.
Okay, this is not the Leafs podcast anymore. This is the Rip on Kyle Connor podcast. I wrote this down. The way I wrote it down made me seem like I'm Don Cherry. I'll read it for you word for word. But basically the context is there was one shift and Matthews made like 3 no look behind the back passes that like completely missed. What?
Kids, looky here.
Kids at home.
Matthews makes a behind the back pass. Don't do that if you're watching at home, kids.
Yeah. So
okay, what'd you write?
Word for word, I said, I don't know what all these fancy no look backhand passes thing is all about, but the Leafs have to realize they aren't Connor McDavid in a game up 6-0.
He wouldn't have said Connor McDavid. He would have said Bobby Orr or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. I should have put in like Bobby Orr or Wayne Gretzky or something.
Yeah. But good try. Yeah, no. That was perfect impression.
Thank you.
The only thing I would change is Bobby Orr for Connor McDavid.
And a little bit more of the finger of the
more hand movement.
At home,
finger
you
movement.
need to do this.
Is it still wrong to say you people? Like, will I get canceled for that?
Yeah, we should get Don Cherry on the podcast. I mean, I guess he's like a bad influence, but we could get him on.
Well,
comment down below if you want to see Don Cherry on the podcast. Yeah, I know. I wonder if we could get in touch with him.
Yeah. Anyway, after that, okay, Nylander had an amazing game. Me and Felly were talking about this right before we started this podcast. He easily could have had 9 goals if this was like Matt Murray in there. He got robbed 3 times.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
Point blank, he got robbed 3 times. But yeah, what we were saying is like easily 5 goals. It was like one of those games that's like a really rare game in the NHL. Yeah. And if it was any other goalie on any other night, oh my God. The fact that he only had 1 goal is crazy.
I know.
Like crazy. He could have had 5. Like
you put Anderson in there, it's a totally different story.
Oh my God. Swap goalies, see what happened that game. The Leafs easily would have won 9-1. Not just Anderson, but like any goalie, any other goalie, maybe Vasilevsky, whatever, but like that's a 9-3, 7-3 game, something like that.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, and then the last note for the second period I actually wrote, Hellebuyck is a god. That's all I wrote.
I mean, listen, everyone knew. Their coaches, our coach, Leafs coaches, Hellebuyck knew. Kyle Connor knew. Kyle Connor crackhead. He knew, like everyone in the whole arena. Well, I guess there weren't that many people there because COVID, but everyone watching knew that the only reason Winnipeg was even in the game was because of Hellebuyck. That wasn't even a game if Hellebuyck wasn't in net or playing the way he was. So I can't tell if Eric's frozen. Okay, he's not.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm agreeing with you 100%.
No.
Go ahead,
Wait,
Jude.
is he frozen? Oh no. Yo, you got me on that one. No, that Nylander where it hit the crossbar, bro. That my hair's turned gray there. That was just, oh my god, just
Yeah,
right
that was
there. That was his chance, and then, I mean, he got it eventually, but.
that wasn't like a kick in the nuts. That was like someone squeezing them.
Oh my god. All right, next goal. Next goal. What was the
Okay.
next goal?
Next goal is third period. We'll roll right into the third period. Now this goal, oh man, the praise I have for this goal. Tavares walks the entire team, passes it on his backhand, makes a perfect pass, and Nylander 1T back of the net. Felly, I know you had some words for this one, so I'll let you go. I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, I mean, that was just so nice to watch because Nylander, first of all, Nylander needed that goal. He wouldn't, like I've heard the announcer say, he literally wouldn't sleep tonight if he didn't score one goal. Like, if he didn't score at least once, that
Hold on, wait. Can I just make a joke real quick?
Yeah.
If Nylander didn't score, he would have stayed up all night looking like Kyle Connor.
Kyle Connor the next day. Enough Kyle Connor slander.
Yeah. Continue.
But it was amazing, first of all, to see Nylander score. Second of all, that's why Tavares gets paid $11 million a year. That's what he does. That's what he's done for his entire career, is just like stood out from any other player on the ice. Like, that's why he got paid $11 million to come to Toronto and be the captain and be the leader of the team. So he showed it, and that was like really good to see that that he was able to do that. I mean, he walked around 4 guys. Like, it was not an easy task, and he got hit as he passed it. It was just, that's the type of play you need when you're down 2-1 in the third period. Someone standing up, like standing out for the team. That's what he did. So
yeah,
I don't know.
That honestly to fight.
Yeah, exactly. That reminded me of when not the speed aspect, but as you guys know, but when McDavid walked through us on that reverse retro night. You guys remember that? I don't know.
A while ago, yeah, that we lost in overtime the Leafs, but
yeah,
I remember that.
That's what it kind of resembled to me, and then a great pass and great finish finally. So, Nylander.
Yeah. I'm just gonna skip to one thing I said near the end. Actually, here I'll save it for the end. But so after that goal,
Jonathan.
Okay. After that goal, Nylander completely robbed point blank once again. What is going on? What is going on? Okay. Once again, Nylander completely robbed. I don't think this actually would have counted though. It was
the kick, yeah.
But still, like, Hellebuyck doesn't even need to make the save, and he just embarrasses Nylander. Like, unnecessary, uncalled for, but
I mean,
amazing paddle save.
I don't know. Ray Ferraro kind of like, he had the same reaction as me. Like, as you watched it in slow mo, you went, okay, like, now that I think of it, that probably wouldn't have counted. And you went, because like he didn't kick it. He tilted his foot, which is legal in this game, but he kind of moved it. There was kind of a bit of a stride there. So like if that went in, that it like we'd be more in depth in this conversation, but
it would have been very controversial.
Yeah, for sure.
If it did go in, I mean, if they were to call it off, it would have been a controversial call. If it were to go in, if they were to count it, it would have been controversial call. So.
I think the only leg the Leafs had to stand on there was saying, oh, Nylander was trying to control it. Like, he stuck his leg out to control the puck to get to his stick. He didn't like kicking motion, but probably.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a goal, so it's kind of a whatever. It's kind of like not a conversation topic, but it would have been interesting to see what would have happened the rest of the game. I think it would have counted, but it doesn't matter because it didn't go in. So
yeah, we're not gonna have a debate over a hypothetical, but
yeah.
After that, so game's tied 2-2. I believe it was Engvall battling behind the net, Kerfoot battling behind the net, and Mikheyev all alone in front. Puck gets to Kerfoot. Very, very patient. Right in front. Mikheyev just buries it. And
Good to see for him.
Pardon?
Good for the kid. Good to see for him.
Yep. Third of the season.
Superman.
Superman.
Super.
I jumped out of my seat for that goal. I was so hyped because the Leafs just needed that.
Me too. Yeah, it's good to see Superman get goals always.
Oh yeah. I live for that.
I
Unfortunately,
live for
though,
Superman.
with 2.5 minutes left. Defensive breakdown. Matthews tries to dump the puck out, goes right to the defense, right in the net. I don't know why Matthews is always on when teams pull their goalie. I get it. He wants to get goals. He'll take any goal, but he shouldn't be on when the Leafs are down by 1 goal.
I mean, that's the thing. It's honestly like one of those things that, in other sports, like in the NFL, whatever, like there's different things that teams do that coaches do in certain situations. I'm not going to bring other sports into it, but for the NHL, when there's an empty net, Alex Ovechkin's going to be on the ice. Patrick Kane's going to be on the ice. Any of the top goal scorers, like Stamkos, he always, like, they just put them on the ice. It's just a thing that the coach does because, I mean, I don't know.
I just think in this situation, right, if Winnipeg wins this game, you're probably going to get a lot of backlash, right? So
no, I agree, but it's a kind of like an NHL like profound thing that you put your star goal scorer in when the net's empty because it's a free goal and it's free publicity for the team and whatever. I don't know.
Not even that. They're your leading goal scorer because of their goal scoring capabilities. So you're gonna like to use those even from your own end. I don't know in the competition.
I mean, who's on the ice? Marner, Hyman, and Matthews.
I believe so. And
so Marner and Hyman are obviously good killers and whatever, but who else would you have put to center them? Like Tavares isn't that much better of a. They needed to win the face-off, so I guess maybe Tavares. But Spezza, but he's slower. With an empty net, it's kind of hard.
It's a good game, like not like that Matthews line. So
I mean, I don't know. I don't mind seeing him on the ice though.
Kerfoot.
Yeah. Kerfoot's Kerfoot or Mikheyev, but you need to win the draw anyways. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's over.
The goal went in, so.
Yeah. Goal did go in, and then okay, so this is what I have to say. So, I took a step back during the intermission from the third period to overtime, and I looked at this game from a non-Leafs or Jets fan, so a hockey fan in general's perspective, because my heart was beating probably the last 10 minutes of the game. I was just like going crazy, about to rip my hair out at any moment in time. But from a NHL fan perspective, it was an amazing game in the NHL and like just a great overall game of hockey. Like super, super entertaining. Never a dull moment. So I just thought that was interesting.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, and then we'll get into the overtime, and then we'll bring up another question. But overtime, wow, this was a crazy, crazy overtime.
Yeah, I mean, I know what we're all thinking, the slash.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to tell a quick little story just while we get into the overtime here. I was talking to Eric before we got on this podcast, and I was like, you know what? Like, I would have been so mad. I would have literally walked down to Scotiabank Arena, and I don't even know what I would have done, but I would have gone down there. And and I said I would have been so extremely mad if they had scored while the stick was broken and Riley was going to get a new stick. Just, oh my God. And Eric goes, you know what? I low-key kind of wanted to see them score. I was like, why? Why would you want to see them score? Are you kidding me?
Like, okay.
Are you kidding me? He calls himself a Leafs fan, but wants to see them lose in overtime.
Shame on you.
To a team that's much worse than
myself. Okay, I just would have loved to see Leafs fans lose their shit, even though they're the first place team in the league.
if you were a real Leafs fan, you would be the one losing your shit.
I'm pretty sure.
I would have lost my shit
I'm pretty
I
sure.
would have lost my shit 100%. I would have been like,
pretty
"Are
sure
you
it was
fucking kidding me? Like that's a clear slash. It can't get any more clear than
All
that."
right. So let's like talk about it a little bit. The ref, like you see his stick in half. There's a ref standing on the goal line. There's a ref standing right near the play, and there's a ref standing at like the red line. You can see his stick in half, and he's complaining.
Yeah,
At
I believe
that
it was
point,
in between the hands as well. That
at
should be a
that
penalty in
point,
itself.
at that point, do you call it? When you see Riley holding his broken stick, like this guy just slashed my stick in half in overtime, which would have given the Leafs a 4-on-3 instead of a 3-on-2 down low with Matthews and Marner defending it. It would have given them a 4-on-3. But at that point, do you, as the ref at the red line, say that was clearly a slash? I'm a bit far from the play to call it, but I should call it because it's clearly his stick got slashed out of his hands in half. I don't know, like, because that would have been a very, very, very controversial topic if the Jets scored that. And it still is a controversial topic because they very well could have scored. They got like 3 shots on net on a little 3-on-2 down low.
They should have scored. For some reason,
I mean, Matthews and Marner were like on their knees blocking shots, and like, I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
Like, there's no doubt that like we're in the right here. Like that clearly should have been a penalty. I was literally yelling at the TV and everything. I was like,
I mean,
are you kidding me?
Here's a question, right? Okay, so first of all, yeah, the announcers were even going off about it. But here's a question. Let's say the Jets score. Don't you think that the NHL should be able to go back and say that's not a goal?
Yeah.
Because it was a clear penalty that disrupted the play, that literally created a 3-on-2 down low for an almost automatic goal.
Yeah.
So if they were to score, it would have been very interesting. They wouldn't have called it back.
That was all Stasny's fault. They should have scored there. They had Stasny, Scheifele, and Wheeler.
But they could have. I think if they did score that, the game would have been over and it would have been whatever. But there would have been a rule implemented or something.
Yeah.
A ref can't miss that. But if they do, you should be able to go back and review it. It would have been interesting to see. I won't like. I wouldn't have liked to see it, obviously, and I'm glad I didn't. It would have been interesting to see what Keith would have done. Like the players. I don't know. It would have been interesting.
Yeah, it's like one of those things when Mike Babcock loses his job. If Fleury doesn't make that save, does Mike Babcock lose his job? This very well, I mean.
Domino effect.
Yes.
Could have.
I mean, yeah, exactly. But I mean, you never fire a coach in first place.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying.
But yes, I see what you mean. Is that I think people would have given him a little bit of leeway because of that call, but like obviously he's sitting there thinking about his, Toronto media, and I think the whole team is. But like I think the focus at that point would have been missed call leads to, loss for the Leafs. Like
yeah, and just to
pretty blatant though.
Just to go back to what I said, I didn't mean like the Leafs lose this, coach fired. Like if they lost this counts.
You meant the domino effect.
Yeah, they could have lost the next 3 because of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
then,
yeah.
Then he gets
it's momentum.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I just don't know I want to see like tape or something that no ref saw that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see that the refs' eyes were not looking at that. Otherwise, I'll have some questions for NHL refs.
Well, maybe if Kyle Connor was the ref, he would have saw that.
you would have been facing the other way. You would have seen it.
Man, what can't he see, bro? Poor guy. No, enough Kyle Connor slander.
He's a good hockey player, so.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
But yeah, then right after that slash, Morgan Riley goes to get a new stick. Play happens, whatever. Matthews, Marner's block a few shot. Anderson makes a good save. Goes the other way. Morgan Riley
with a terrible play. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
like, out of everything to do in that situation, he just slams it on to Anderson, he's good down low. He's a big guy. Like you're gonna know that. So keep going there.
Yeah, and then the puck flies out, goes to Riley, and 2-on-1 for Riley and Matthews. Riley makes a great saucer pass.
That was greasy.
Oh, it was.
That was
so
unreal.
Greasy.
I mean,
a tired defense. Sorry, a tired defense Jets. Go ahead, Felly.
I was just gonna say, yeah, he basically turned it into a breakaway for Matthews because
Yeah.
he knew he was tired. He drew the guy in. He knew he was tired, drew the guy in, sauced it to Matthews. Matthews was also really tired, but you could see him get on his horse from
Yeah.
the far
Yeah.
post right down to make it a 2-on-1 kind of breakaway for him, and then just oh my god, just
Beautiful. That was
oh
the
my god.
smoothest hands in the NHL right there.
Oh man, like that was just amazing to watch. Just like fakes the shot, freezes Hellebuck for the first time all night,
Yeah.
and takes it to his backhand, and just oh man, such a
Yeah.
nice goal.
It
That's
was-
why he leads the NHL in goals.
It was such a quick play. Like it looked fast in slow-mo, and that's with a sore wrist. So incredible.
Weirdly enough, it looked slow in real time.
Yeah,
it looked
exactly.
Like
It looked
so
like it was-
effortless. It looked
Yeah.
so effortlessly like fakes
Yeah.
the shot, goes to his backhand, like roofs it, and he sallied like he
Oh, yeah.
just got on the ice. Like he was dead tired, but he
Yeah,
sallied hard.
Yeah.
You got to at that point.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and that about wraps it up. But we're gonna end on one question. I told Felly I was gonna put this in the title, but I don't think I will, just because we didn't get to touch on it enough. But Matthews has, I think, 13 less points than Connor McDavid at this moment in time, but he also has 4 less games played and 5 more goals than him. Does this put him in the contention for the Hart Trophy?
I believe it does, Eric.
That's
Because
it?
I said because.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I thought you were gonna respond honestly and say, "Oh, why?" But anyway.
Oh. Okay, Felly, why have you said this answer?
Just let the man speak.
Yeah. So no, I think that he definitely does because, first of all, he's played less games, which I mean that's just injury, whatever happens. But they're on similar pace points wise. He wouldn't be too far behind. I think if he played every game McDavid did, it wouldn't be 13 points. But that aside from the fact, you got to look at points per game and whatever. But I think goals are harder to get than assists. I know that's kind of like a cliche, like that's not great to say, but obviously assists are just as important as goals, if not more important. But it's harder to score a goal. It just is. That's why everyone has more assists than they do goals. So I think if Matthews wins the Rocket Richard, if he can keep up being the top goal scorer in the league and continue to get assists too. I mean, unless McDavid really, really gets a lot of points, I think in my eyes, the top 3 are McDavid, Draisaitl. I hate to say it, Draisaitl and Matthews. I don't really like Draisaitl, but I guess that's evident. But no, I mean, I think unless McDavid really, if he gets like 100 points in like 56 games or something crazy like that, I mean, he should get it. But if he doesn't go too crazy and Matthews gets the Rocket Richard, I think Matthews could definitely clean up the awards. Maybe get the Hart too.
Yeah, Jude, do you have opinion?
If you have one, you go ahead. I can.
Well, I'm just gonna keep it simple and short. I think he does, and I'm not gonna say that he will and say like, oh yeah, he's definitely gonna win it. He's definitely in the running. He's definitely in contention. Just depends on, again, what Felly said. Depends how Connor McDavid finishes the rest of the season, and it depends how many goals Matthew scores and what happens for the rest of the season. So, Jude?
Yeah, that's it. It's just if they can keep this on pace, kind of the domination of the North Division, kind of them, not as much the Oilers, but the top 3 kind of guys, right? So it just depends on how well they do in terms of scoring, everything, right? So I do agree with both of you. I think Matthews is definitely in the running.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to not vote for a guy who wins the President's Trophy, wins the Rocket Richard, is top 3 in scoring. Like,
that's going to be a sick photo holding all those.
I kind of, honestly, I would trade all that away for Matthews' Conn Smythe Trophy. I would trade it all away.
I thought you were going to say Stanley Cup, but you went up to me.
Conn Smythe means pretty much means Stanley Cup. So
Yeah.
There's only been a couple players, and it was Marty Turco, I think. Marty
so yeah, so I think I would trade every one of those awards away.
Yeah.
If anyone on the Leafs
Yeah.
gets the Conn Smythe, I would be the happiest person in the world. But the cup first.
Yeah. Definitely
You
the cup
know,
first.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So I guess we'll wrap it up there. Thank you guys for watching on YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts. If you're watching on Spotify, or sorry, listening on Spotify, thank you so much for listening. And if you come from Facebook, make sure to leave a comment and subscribe. So we'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.